Step right into the chaos of middle school, where nerves are raw and the pressure to fit in is relentless. Picture this, a 13-year-old trembling under the fluorescent gym lights, lips pressed to a cold brass mouthpiece not to play, but to pull off the greatest ruse of his school career. This is the story of how I played the French horn for 3 painful years, and not a single soul teacher's friends, or even judges found out I had no idea what I was doing. It all started with a classic case of parental ambition. My mom, believing wholly in the transformative power of extracurriculars, pushed me to join the school band. The problem? I'd never touched an instrument. While my classmates riffed their way through childhood with weekly lessons, I was lost. The jargon, the sheet music hall Greek to me, but fate or mistake cast me as the one and only French horn player that year. Our band director, overworked and split between chorus, show choir, and 2 bands, didn't have the time, or perhaps the energy to individually check if I was hitting the right notes. Practices were a blur of noise, flutes squealing, drums pounding, and, in all that chaos, I noticed something. As long as I looked busy pressing keys and moving my body to the rhythm, nobody ever questioned the sounds, or the lack thereof, coming from my direction, so I leaned into the act. I would click the horn's keys at random, shift in my seat as if passionate about my craft, and pout theatrically whenever a song ended. The secret, I never blew a single note. Sometimes, panic crept in when a melody called for a solo. Luckily, our band didn't do solos for French horn. Instead, I got to hide literally and musically in the shadow of the group, my classmates. Every so often someone would nod and say, "Great playing today." I'd mumble a thanks and slump deeper in my chair, heart pounding in my throat. The real test came at the state competition. It was the moment every music student dreads or dreams about, and one I expected to be my undoing. Only, at the end, one of the judges gave me a shout-out for a lively and passionate performance. My teacher congratulated me. Classmates high-fived me, saying I'd crushed it. I had utterly fooled them all. I imagine now what it looked like on stage, a kid, eyes wide, cheeks puffed in a pantomime of effort, fingers dancing, but not a single sound coming out. But nobody suspected. Maybe the judges were over it that day. Maybe they were just as much faking being invested in our performance as I was in giving it. Band class was always a strange mix of pressure and apathy, a lot of talk about passion, but little accountability for the small instrumental sections. My director never had us play individually. She'd threaten it, but band practices were group affairs, and she focused her passion elsewhere. If you were one of 2 or 3 in a section, you were almost invisible. As long as you kept the charade up. It wasn't until much later, after I'd moved from town, grown up, and picked up the guitar and piano for real, that I finally admitted to a friend what I'd done. We laughed, but there was a tremor of pride in my confession. The ultimate imposter syndrome, writ large and brass. But this isn't just a story of deception. It's about how easy it is to disappear in a crowd, even when everyone's looking straight at you. Sometimes, systems don't care if you know what you're doing. They only care that you look like you belong. If you've ever felt out of place, faking it just to glide through, trust me, you're not alone. Whether you're pressing keys at random in school band or just bluffing your way through life's big moments, sometimes it's the hustle that gets you by. What would you have done, in my shoes, ever pulled off a massive, harmless con just to survive the madness that is school? Drop your confessions and stories in the comments. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more wild, true tales, hit that subscribe button, smash like, and don't forget to share with your most musical friends. And remember, sometimes, it's not about playing the right notes, it's about selling the performance right up to the final bow.